Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Good Saturday morning, and welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, where we celebrate duck hunting today as the season opens in Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee soon to follow. And here he is, without further ado, the legend himself,
Larry Ray, cancer-free.
Larry Ray.
Yay, cancer-free, no shingles.
Cancer-free and no shingles.
I don't know what I got, but I ain't got shingles, okay? And my idol sitting there across from me. Yeah, that's you, Buck. All right, okay. Thank you, John Gordon. I knew further ado would be in there.
Without further ado.
And all y'all stick around because Frank Barton will do the last segment when we talk ducks with John and hopefully with Luke Naylor of the Arkansas Game and Fish. We're going to take a little break again, but we're not going to talk about FISHING on this segment. We're going to talk a little history here. And Frank Barton, I know that recently you guys broke ground with those golden shovels over in Marion. So tell us about this new Sultana Museum coming up.
Well, it's taken a long time, and for those that you don't know, the Sultana was a steamship that exploded and sank in the Mississippi River April 27th, 1865. And on board, depending on the count that you want to have, somewhere in excess of 1,500, probably closer to 1,800 former Union prisoners of war that were returning home, most of which perished in that tragedy. It is still America's greatest maritime disaster, if you count it by loss of life. Even exceeded. Everyone's heard of the Titanic, but not many people have heard of the Sultana. So it happened just a little bit north of Memphis and in Marion, where a lot of the descendants of rescuers still live. We have,
including you. Now there was a Barton.
I have a great grandfather that was one of the rescuers.
Yes. Okay.
So we've taken it upon ourselves to make certain that there is something permanent to remember these men, and we've raised enough money now that we're going to start the construction of a museum in Marion, and that was what you were talking about, because we had the official groundbreaking of that endeavor last week.
So where's it going to be located in Marion?
It will be on Military Road,
okay,
which is it's the main road through Marion.
Yes.
Currently it's been used as a gymnasium for the Marion School District,
mm-hmm,
and the Marion School District has donated it they've donated to the city of Marion, and the city of Marion is allowing the museum to be built there. So we're going to be rehabbing it. Hazlip Architects here in Memphis has designed, I think, a state-of-the-art facility that will do homage and give people something to remember what took place over 150 years ago.
Now, you have a lot of items from that now being currently in a small area, right?
We are fortunate. We have a very small museum right now.
Yeah.
And one of the members of our board is a gentleman from up in the Chicago area, Gene Saliker.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene is one of the two primary historians of the Sultana, the other one being Jerry Potter, who's an attorney here in Memphis. And Gene has collected over the years numerous artifacts. In fact, we had them appraised, and it was almost $150,000 in artifacts that Gene has donated to for the museum. We hope to collect more.
That's why I was wondering if the river was so low, was there any opportunity to find any additionals?
Like a lot of things that happened,
it's so long
it was
ago.
pretty well salvaged.
Yeah, okay.
While it was able, because the river, it's hard to get to then, hard to get to now.
Yes.
And what remains, people ask all the time, well, where's the boat? And, well, what remains of it's,
that's
20, 25 feet under the ground right now, because the river changed course and silt started going up, coming around it, and it's buried pretty deep right now.
But this is no cheap endeavor, Frank.
What
is the cost?
Our goal, our overall goal is something in excess of $12 million, but we had decided as a board that when we hit the $6 million mark, that would be enough for us to start the project and start the construction. And we recognize that in a lot of cases it's easier to get money when people see brick and mortar going up.
Right, yeah.
So, so we hit our $6 million goal, which was no easy effort.
I can imagine.
During COVID.
Yes.
And COVID in the middle of all this. So we hit our $6 million goal.
But
and announced announced the groundbreaking.
This has been part of your life, though, Frank. Because you write some of the really in-depth information once a year. At the anniversary of
the weeks leading up to it, I do a Facebook series for about 3 weeks.
You do
every day. I'll do something, and most of which just about everything that I write about comes from something that either Gene Salaker has written or Jerry Potter has written
in their books.
And then when I found out about my great grandfather's role in it, I did some research and came up with some other interesting things about him and some of the other things that happened in this part of the country.
Very knowledgeable that Frank puts together that I know a lot of people enjoy reading that each year, and so the facility will be how big is this going to be?
It's going to be over 18,000 square feet.
Over 18,000 square feet. It will be a tourist destination. I'm assuming.
That's the intent.
Yeah.
That it will be. I think, if I remember correctly, the economic impact, the annual economic impact of it is in excess of $3 million.
Wow. Okay.
For our area.
This is an event that's been, I wouldn't say neglected, but I know I've read the book, Jerry Potter's information. There's different discrepancies on how many died in the event, but it's an event that if you started thinking about how many people have been touched by this event through their families over all these years. And so are you still accepting donations, or how's that work?
We are. You can look us up, Sultana Historical Preservation Society.
There you go.
And we have an online presence and a Facebook presence. We're pretty. If you type in Sultana, you'll find us pretty easily. And the thing we always we try and tell folks is when the country back then forgot these men. There was very little written about it.
Yeah.
People didn't know anything about it. And the men, the survivors, there was less than 500 that survived the tragedy. They started getting together.
Yeah.
And all they wanted was a monument. All they wanted was this country to have a monument for what took place.
Yeah.
And it never happened.
Yeah.
So that's part of one of the things we're trying to do.
And the ceremonies that you had recently attracted politicians, just everyday people, and things along that line. That the enthusiasm on this is pretty important for the Memphis area, not just for Marion or East Arkansas.
This will impact Memphis as well. Kevin Kane, director of the
Right.
Memphis Convention and Visitors Bureau came over and talked to us. And Kevin understands that anything that happens on that side of the river in this proximity to Memphis
Yes.
affects Memphis and is good for them because they come to Marion, they see the museum, and they come across while they see Bass Pro Pyramid, and then they go downtown.
FedEx
They
Forum
go
or whatever it might
go
be.
to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, I think it's, and I wanted to include, I know this is not outdoors, but they were outdoors with their shovels, so I got that as part of that. We're talking to our good friend Frank Barton here about the Sultana. The official name will be the what? The Sultana?
It's the Sultana Disaster Museum.
Okay.
And that's what we refer to it as, the Sultana Disaster. And then our group is called the Sultana Historical Preservation Society. SHIPS is the acronym for it.
Okay. Well, that works out pretty good. SHIPS and everything. So, I think a lot of folks will be very enthused by this. We have Tom Lee Park, named after the lives that were saved by Tom Lee in some of this. And now you're going across the river to the Sultana, which, of course, I'm a big a nonfiction person, so I read these things. And Frank, thank you for your efforts there. And
maybe they'll even make a full-featured movie when it's all said and done. That always seems to be the standard of things.
That's what I'm waiting for.
It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's got intrigue and greed and graft and love and
all about
horror and
Vicksburg, putting all them people on in Vicksburg and the boilers and everything. I read these things. Maybe Frank will pay his great grandfather in the movie. Who knows? Might get you to do that. All right, we're going to take a break. Step back into it. Waterfowl count. Wake up, everybody. We're back with you right now, okay? Because Frank Barton is going to introduce the next segment, and we're going to talk to John Gordon. Little duck talk here with hopefully hook up with Luke Naylor of the Arkansas Game and Fish if we could get him on the line. If not, we'll just talk ducks with
we got a duck cast right here.
We got a duck cast right here. Why are you looking over there?
I'm just saying. We got three guys.
You got three guys that kill a few waterfowl. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Hey, blow that duck call one more time. Put that up to your lips. Just hit that. Just kind of wet it. There you go. How about that? We'll be right back. All right.